priest I keep seeing?
Damien Karras.
Karras?
He's our psychiatric counselor.
So Karras was a psychiatrist as well as a priest. Do you know any psychiatrists who believe in exorcisms and possession?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
Look, I had not seen The Exorcist before. I'm not a horror movie guy. They just don't do it for me. So I'd kind of stayed away from, the mother of all horror movies and, of course, the definitive exorcism type movie. This movie was fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I mean, of course, it was dated in some of the editing styles and the jump cuts and things like that. And it was certainly a slow build. It did not hold the attention of my 19-year-old daughter, but I thought it was incredibly well done and an incredible movie.
Things were handled with care. That's what I loved about this. Like, mental health was handled with care. Possession was handled with care. Like, it wasn't just let's get to the next jump scare. Everything was handled with such detail and care.
Right.
That's a Friedkin thing, by the way. William Friedkin, the director.
I would point people back to an earlier episode we did where we did an episode on the Pope's Exorcist, which was a Russell Crowe movie. And we kind of did it just because it was, coming up on the top 10, the top 10 Netflix lists and all that kind of stuff. You should look at those two podcasts and you should look at those two movies together because the Pope's Exorcist is exactly the movie you would get if they tried to make The Exorcist de novo today. It was basically the same story. It had Russell Crowe. It had a little bit of a different kind of, Vatican-esque flair to it, but it was basically the same story. I actually liked The Pope's Exorcist, thought it was a pretty good movie. It was because The Exorcist paved the way and did all of these things first and did them better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally agree. Has there ever been something you've come across in your psychiatry practice that you just could not explain? Because this is what happens in the movie. Let me contextualize it to the film.
Sure.
So Regan goes through a battery of tests like she would. That's what's so great about it is it's a little bit of the horror of like, we know she's possessed, but that's not the assumption that doctors would make. So they're going to put her through all these tests first. They cannot figure out what to do. They cannot figure out how to help this girl. And so they turn to the Catholic Church.
Have you ever heard of exorcism?
Have you ever had it's just like, I don't understand. There's nothing we can do. And have you ever wondered, is this something that faith could help with?
Yeah, those are three separate questions. Have you ever been stumped? All the time. That's why this is called the practice of medicine. You don't just get this one shot at it. We get to run tests and we get to relook at things and we get to think about the patient's presentation. We get to ask new questions. We get to consult with colleagues. We get to say, hey, let's get you a second opinion. Let's keep working on this until we can come up with some working theory about what's going on with you to the level that our science can understand it. You then ask the question, is there sometimes nothing you can do about it? Not usually. Usually we know enough about mental health presentations and conditions where we can say, hey, I think that this is what you can do. Now, there are some conditions that are kind of untreatable. The most important one that we haven't really found a good treatment for is antisocial personality disorder, which we've talked about.
Psychopaths, right?
Yeah, those are psychopaths. Really extreme, severe psychopaths, we don't have effective psychological or psychiatric treatments for them. Those people usually aren't coming to you for help. In Regan's case, she would probably today be given a diagnosis of functional neurologic symptom disorder, which is a mouthful. But what it really means is you're having a whole lot of neurologic type symptoms, right? You're having convulsions, you're having seizures, you're speaking in tongues, you're having weird vomiting and stuff like that. We don't know why. No test that we have right now is giving us an answer, but we know something's wrong with you. Something is distressing you. It's in this gap between our understanding of neurology and psychiatry. And that's where these folks tend to lie. And that's where we tend to treat symptoms with medications that are available, but then really counsel the person through, hey, we don't really know what's going on with you. Let's help you manage your distress while also not trying to say, oh, it's just all in your head.
Is there anything that could happen where you would say, okay, this person is possessed? Like, for instance, in The Exorcist, head spins around a couple times. That's pretty freaky. Stuff flies across the room. If stuff flies across the room, are you going to be like, yep, she's possessed. We need to get an exorcist in here.
Look, stuff flies across the room, probably not. Head spin all the way around, something's not right there. Somebody levitating, yeah, something's not right there. This is beyond medicine for me.
Okay, so, Dr. Josh, you've been moved to some island. You're the only doctor. There's some priests. There would be context in which you would say, let's go get the priest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's contexts now where I say, you know what? Let's get a spiritual consult for you within the hospital that we do now.
The victim's belief in possession is what helped cause it. So in that same way, the belief in the power of exorcism can make it disappear.
Oh, interesting. Because the power of faith can help heal.
Absolutely.
That's
there
great.
is an interplay.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.